Hi there. Gives me great pleasure to be welcoming Martin to our Quickfire interview in the run-up to the Sustainable Foods Conference, which is being held in London at the end of January at the Business Design Centre. Martin's the founder and CEO of Kraftblock, who are joining the conference. Will be sharing the main stage. Martin, please, I would love to hear more about yourself, your background, and also about Kraftblock's services.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for having me. And I'm really delighted to be here with you to have this talk. I'm Martin, one of the founders of Kraftblock, and usually I'm saying the creative part of Kraftblock, so figuring out how a solution fits best to the market, how it can solve the problems with the market. Basically, I studied chemistry a long while ago and was also a lot involved in those industries, but moved on towards thermodynamics over the time, because I was mainly checking out waste heat recovery systems in different industries, right, to make use of existing heat already, which usually is put into the atmosphere. And so it came up also with the idea of Kraftblock, figuring out how a thermal energy storage can be best used to electrify heat on one hand, but also to increase energy efficiency, also by using waste heat on the other hand, and ideally bring both ends together to have even a stronger sustainable system.
What a great solution, Martin. Actually, very appropriate for the food industry. I'd love to know really further how Kraftblock's thermal energy storage technology helps support scalability and achieves high efficiency within energy.
Yes, great question. So first of all, we designed a storage platform. Storage platform means we have one storage which can be charged by various options. Could be waste heat, could be the green electron, could be concentrated solar power. The same for discharging. So we could generate just hot air for roasting coffee. We could generate steam for a couple of other processes, or thermal oil to fry potato chips, for example. So it's a pretty flexible approach that we have. And the trick is we always tend to go to very high storage temperatures, right? So if you store at 1000 degrees C or even higher, even if you have a heat demand of 100 degrees C, that doesn't matter, because the higher we go, the bigger the delta T is, the temperature difference is, the more efficient the whole process is and the more energy we are using out of the storage. And that's exactly what we are doing, right? Designing the perfect system to have the maximum energy output of the energy you put into the system itself.
For food systems, this seems like a wonderful technology, Martin. Yes. I mean, obviously for the Sustainable Foods Conference, that's key. But can you let us know, in terms of the food industry specific, how you can support through Kraftblock, and then also what other industries may benefit from your solutions?
Yes. I just give you a simple example, right? If I want to electrify heat, I'm usually depending, especially when I want to have green electricity, I'm depending on fluctuating sources, right? I do have intermittent sources, sometimes too much, sometimes too less. And that's the perfect use case for a buffer. So what we do in this case, we convert the electron to heat, and then we store the heat. So we can balance the whole fluctuating system out and deliver heat at a very well-defined price and a very well-defined quality. If I now discharge my storage, hot air in, hot air out, to a steam generator, so I produce steam based on the stored energy, actually it doesn't matter what type of process it is I'm putting it in. It's just a type of quality of steam, right? Is it just 120 bar? Is it 200 bar? Is it 400 bar? Degrees C, not bar. That all can be done exactly with the same unit. So it can, I would say, decarbonize and increase the energy efficiency of roughly 60 to 70% of the process heat demand in the food industry.
I mean, that's fantastic. As I think we're all aware of the amount of energy is required within the food system universe, not just on the farm, but across the supply chain. So if you can really help manufacturing, processing, etc., that's really a wonderful solution for the industry. In terms of next step for Kraftblock, I mean, how are you looking in terms of advancing renewable energy integration and expanding your impact?
Yes, that's the biggest challenge we have to tackle at the moment, finding the right energy supplier, right? The right PPAs with cheap electricity at the end, because basically we have to replace all the fossil fuels in the industries right now against the green electron, ideally. And unfortunately, the electron mostly is more expensive than the gas, basically in most of the countries. But having the chance using wind and PV, we have the chance to get cheap electricity as well. And as I said, buffering this energy by a storage is the perfect way to introduce an electrified system, an electrification of the whole process heat into the food industry itself. So what we need, what we are working in, is the electricity supplier on one hand, but also the customer on the opposite side, right? Because he wants to decarbonize, he wants to increase energy efficiency, and we just help him on his way to do so. So scaling, it's the buzzword at all. We have the first application in the food industry, and now we have to scale the application to make it even more sustainable and more green.
Well, we're looking forward to you coming to the UK, Martin, to showcase that. We have a lot of wind, as I'm sure you know. In terms of the conference, Sustainable Foods in January, who are you looking really to meet at the conference, Martin? Do you have a message for those that are attending?
Yes, basically, it's everybody who's taking care about energy efficiency and sustainability. Could be the ESG manager, could be the energy management, could even be the site operator, right? Who is interested on make his site more sustainable. So everybody who is involved in heat in the broadest sense, in decarbonizing heat, is the perfect partner to talk to.
Great. You heard that here. So anyone who's working in energy and food sustainability, please do connect with Martin and the team at Kraftblock at the conference. They'll be well represented over the 2 days. Thank you, Martin. That was really fascinating and flew by quicker than I could have imagined. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.
You too.